Nigeria's oil and gas sector is rife with opportunities, but how can industry players make the most of the promises the sector offers? On this special Focus On episode on the Nigerian Oil and Gas Opportunity Fair, we look at how the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board is showcasing these opportunities in the upstream, midstream, and downstream sectors. I'm Akin Obakeye. The Nigerian oil and gas sector has witnessed some deliberate attempts to spur growth and stability through policies from government through an enabling environment. But other painstaking efforts from the private sector and regulators have also been supportive. Tipped as a major economic enabler, the oil and gas sector is expected to play a pivotal role in driving economic growth. But that role has been dwindling due to missed opportunities. How can these opportunities be harnessed by individuals and businesses? The NCDMB seems to have a round peg that fits the hole: develop local content and groom players to take advantage of the opportunities.
In the course of establishing the, if you like, major enablers for the development of local content, we discover that a lot of the local players always complain of not knowing the opportunities that are coming, not having information, and the opportunity just come on their lap. And when they try to get involved, they are told that they are incompetent, they don't have the capacity, they don't have the capability, and hence they cannot participate. And to be fair to the opportunity providers, the oil and gas industry, one of the things we hold very dear in that sector is that we do not compromise quality, we do not compromise standards, irrespective of the law, because an accident in the oil and gas sector, it's more expensive than the project itself. So if they don't have the capacity, when these opportunities come, there's no way on earth they will be able to deliver. And we will not blindly say because the law says they have to participate, give them those opportunities. If we do, we then compromise standard, we compromise quality. So when you put all those in the basket, we decided to initiate the Nigerian Oil and Gas Opportunity Fair, where we invite the opportunity providers. These are the international oil companies, the indigenous companies, of course, the mothership, NNPC Limited, to come and tell the Nigerian vendors the possible opportunities within a 5-year horizon. This then gives the Nigerian businesses the advantage of setting themselves up to take advantage of those opportunities as at when they come. Since we started this, most Nigerian businesses have immensely benefited from these early warnings with regards to opportunities. An example is the LNG Train 7. Even from the first edition when it was at feed design stage, LNG was able to share the possible opportunities within the LNG Train 7 project. So today, we made bold to say that almost 50% of that project is being managed by Nigerians. Don't forget, we built Train 1 to 6 in this country. And if you go back to the data with regards to Train 1 to 6, virtually everything was done outside the country. Nigerians did not participate. LNG, of course, will pride themselves to say, oh, they support local content within those Train 1 to 6. They were only doing CSR. They were only ensuring that they took the community along, provide them corporate social responsibility. But actual participation be it site preparation, be it fabrication, be it procurement. Nigerians were never involved. But Train 7, we got it right because of this Nigerian Oil and Gas Opportunity Fair. Since the emergence of NOGOF, Nigerians have established enormous capacity in the country. Today, by the time we started pursuing local content, everything in terms of fabrication was done outside Nigeria. Today, we have the capacity in country to fabricate about 250,000 metric tons annually. That is huge. So you have a lot of fabrication companies that have established themselves. In terms of procurement, Nigerians occupy 98% of that landscape because they now have the capacity and capability to procure what is not available in country anywhere in the world. We don't give that responsibility to international companies. Nigerians do that. When you then talk of design, front-end engineering design, detailed design, and today we pride ourselves that 70%, 80% of that happens in country because Nigerians have established design houses and these opportunities come to them. Is because we had given them the early warning to say, hey, these things are coming on stream, so you need to prepare.
Now, some local players who seem to have told the path of positioning believe value chain players can still take full advantage through in-country value addition.
If you build the capacity, you will not be able to tap the opportunity if you start thinking of building capacity for the project. The whole point of a NOGAF is for us to see the future and for each individual or each individual company to reposition for it. If the whole point of we coming here is to just listen to all the things that's just been said today or been said 8 years ago, and all we're just thinking of is what was said and nobody actually positions, then the opportunity is wasted. So Coleman has done it very well by positioning. Today, if we look at it, based on the opportunity we had at NOGOF 2 years ago and 4 years ago, I think 4 years ago was critical to the statement on Train 7. We're the only company in the history of NLNG building 6 trains, and this is the 7th, to actually become 100% available for cable in country. It never happened before. A lot of the cables we're producing were like second or third in Africa to even be producing it, not to talk about Nigeria. So if we didn't provide capacity, capability, training, invest, we cannot be talking about the opportunity today. We would have to wait another maybe Train 8 to take an opportunity, believing it will happen. I think the key thing is NCDMB has made a believer in most of the Nigerian investors that you can listen to an opportunity, you can take an investment decision and position on it, and believe it will happen at a certain period of time. And so the Shells, the NLNGs, the IOCs of this world, even the midstream guys would end up patronizing your business because you took the right position.
Independent oil companies together with service providers and manufacturers. And especially now that our government has paid up its cash calls to the oil and gas industry, we are in a strong position now where the independent oil companies are ready to make investments in Nigeria, because at one point in time they had stopped all investments. The very laudable fact from NCDMB is that it has has set up an implementation committee to domesticate the production of valves and pumps in Nigeria. And we as a foundry are one of the few companies well positioned to be able to cast valve bodies and create them into a final product. So a fair like this, tied together with this laudable implementation of manufacturing valves and pumps in Nigeria, it fits in very well. But one has to one has to understand that it takes quite a long time before you can get accreditations and everything in order. so that these valves and pumps can be used in the oil and gas industry. A fallout of this would be to produce also lower technology valves, which are used in the municipal water industry, and valves that are used in various other industries. So it has a very positive effect for the entire economy of Nigeria.
For me personally, it was a big eye-opener to have operating companies come together into one space and talk to us about their work plans, their project opportunities, the things that they see in the horizon. And for us to interrogate that and challenge ourselves, personally for my business, it was incredible. So for me to have also now been selected as the organizer, and now it's the third time we're organizing it, and it's gone from strength to strength. It's something that I'm personally proud of. So both as the organizer of NOGOF and also as a company operating in the space, offering my services to other players, I find it quite valuable.
Having the right regulation solidifies the gains in the testimonials. How much clarity has the likes of the Petroleum Industry Act and others provided to industry players?
Regulations aim to give clarity to the law. And in this case, the law that we speak about is the Petroleum Industry Act 2021. And as a commission, we have compartmentalized the gamut of regulations prescribed by the PIA into what we call priority regulations and non-priority regulations. Of the priority regulations, we have 5 that have already been gazetted. 13 regulations have been finalized and are now going through the process of being gazetted by the Federal Ministry of Justice. And there are 6 that are right now in the public domain and undergoing stakeholder engagement. Now, what are we trying to achieve? First of all, by law, by Section 216 of the PIA, we're supposed to engage stakeholders in the development of regulations. The PIA, in its wisdom, mandated that so that any regulation that is churned out at the end of the day has benefited and is enriched by the discourse, by the inclusion, by the participation, and by the contribution of the industry stakeholders. So at the end of the day, it is not only fit for purpose, it is something that actively aids investment. That is exactly what regulations that we are stewarding as a commission will do. And that's why our presence here and our collaboration with the NCDMB would further ensure that we have a line of sight to those opportunities and that our regulations reflect the opportunities that need to be matured in the industry.
The oil and gas industry is believed to be the catalyst for Nigeria's industrialization. With over $50 billion valued opportunities expected to be tapped in the next 5 years, positioning and taking advantage by local players remain crucial to the growth of the sector. But that's all we can take on this episode of Focus On. I'm Akin Obakeye. Thank you for watching.